I'm the last toast, I promise. So my name is Sandy. I've known, so, you know, everyone keeps talking about his name as Josh or Michael or something. It's actually Ua. His name is Ua. It's either Ua or Uanis, kind of essence of Ua. So Ua comes from Josh or Joshua. You know, everyone thought in school, like the kids in school, I've known since 7th grade, so the kids in school thought he needed like a street name. So Josh wasn't very cool, so they, you know, kind of gave him like a rapper street name, like Ua would be pretty great. So I've known him as Ua, so if I slip and call him Ua, then you know what I'm talking about. So I can see that on our side, on Ua's side, everyone is really anal and writes out their whole toast. And everyone on Katie's side is just kind of live out of seat their pants. So anyways, Michael last week had asked me to make a toast at his wedding. And I told him I was already planning on making a toast, but I was having a hard time making it short enough because I could just sing Michael's praises for hours and hours. And so I was telling him, you know, I'm having a hard time shortening this. And he said, you know, it's his and Katie's wedding day, so it's just too bad if everyone's bored. As long as he's entertained, it's no problem if everyone else is just bored out of their head. So I thought that is a brilliant way of thanking everyone for traveling thousands of miles. So I thought maybe I will just kind of shorten it a little bit. So Michael and I met in 7th grade, and I had gone to our school rec since I was very young, but Michael had started in 7th grade, and so we all distinctly remember the first day that Michael came to 7th grade class, because the day that he joined our class, our entire class was changed forever. So everyone remembers this day. We went to this school, it was a private school, had this very strict dress code. And most kids in the 7th grade were sort of rebellious, and they were trying to get away with t-shirts, tennis shoes, leaving their shirt untucked, all of which was not allowed. And Michael, on the other hand, was very precocious in 7th grade. And so he would not only impeccably stick with the dress code, he came with a tie and a leather briefcase with gold clasps to 7th grade class. And to those of you who know Ua, you know I'm not making any of this up. So all of us completely remember the first moment Michael was introduced to us. It was in 7th grade. He walks into math class with his leather briefcase, and the kids were sort of stunned and looking at him and didn't really know what to make of him. And the teacher was just bursting with pride. She was just so proud of her new model student. So we thought that was sort of the end of it. And our teacher had written this very difficult math question on the board, and the kids were sort of scribbling down, and then we hear Ua on the side just yelling out, kind of muttering under his breath, the answer. This before any of us had a chance to kind of like scribble down and figure out what was going on. So next question, next math question goes up, Michael just blurts out the answer. So all of us, you know, the teacher puts out the next question, and all of us are sitting there staring at this brilliant new kid who had come in. So he come kind of out of nowhere, and that's kind of how Michael had first entered rec. So Michael's impressed us in that same way for the last 20 years and continues to impress us today. So we've been friends ever since the 7th grade, and I'm sorry I'm not doing a great job of keeping this short. So we've been friends since the 7th grade. But I have to tell you, over the years, I've kind of got this feeling that Michael's been avoiding me. I don't really know why, but we, you know, I had this great relationship to high school graduation. After that, Michael went to college at MIT in Boston. I went to college in New Haven, Connecticut. So that was sort of, you know, natural. We talked on the phone every day during college. We talked about how great it would be if we were in the same city after college. So I kept on my side. I ended up moving to Boston after college, and Michael responded by promptly moving to Berkeley, California. So then I moved in Chicago, and I guess because I was no longer in Boston, then Michael moved back to Boston. So I was in Chicago 2 years ago, and I called Michael with great delight that I was moving to Boston, and he responded by promptly moving to Minneapolis. So I think we can say that Michael will be staying here now that he is married to Katie, unless of course I end up moving here. But over the years, Michael's been the most true, incredibly loyal, charismatic friend that anybody could ever ask for. It's sort of ironic if you've grown up that since that day in 7th grade, that now as a grown-up, Michael has now decided to give away that, throw away that whole tie and leather briefcase bit. Now he's reverted back to t-shirts, tennis shoes, he's untucking his shirt, 86ing the leather briefcase. So many things have changed since that day in 7th grade, but as usual, Michael is always in a class of his own and leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of us. So this is the last toast, and I just ask you to raise your glass to a lifetime of friendship with the most true blue friend that any person could ever ask for, and to a lifetime of happiness with an equally wonderful woman he's so lucky to have found. So my heartfelt cheers to Michael and Katie.